So how do you start link building for your website? So in this video, I'm going to cover why you need link building for your website, the best strategy in 2019 to build high quality backlinks at scale, and the actionable steps you can take to start building links to your website today. So why link building? Well, when it comes to search engine traffic, a lot of people just publish their content without building any links. They just sort of publish and pray and hope that their content is going to rank on Google. But the problem is most people's blogs never get ranked, mainly because they're not building links to it. In fact, Ahrefs actually did a recent study of this, and 90% of content published on the internet never gets seen. It's basically a waste of time, and that's mainly down to a lack of links. In fact, there are over 200 elements to Google's algorithm, and link building is still the number one determining factor. So if you do nothing else and only focus on links, you still have a better chance of building a high traffic website than if you were to do everything but link building. So what's the best strategy to build links to your website? So the link building strategy that I recommend for building links at scale is called the Skyscraper Technique. It's white hat, ethical, and it protects your website because you're only building natural, relevant links to your website, basically by producing amazing content. It's the same technique that some of the world's top SEO experts like Brian Dean and Neil Patel recommended. So that means you're not using PBNs, spammy blog comments, or anything else that could hurt your website's reputation. But how does the skyscraper technique work? Well, first of all, you'd find competing articles in your niche with a ton of links. Then you'd build a list of all the websites that have linked to those competing articles. Thirdly, you'd create a better piece of content than your competitors. And finally, you'd reach out to all the prospects from step 2. At this point, you'd say something along the lines of, hey, I came across your article. Here's a better article I've created. Would you consider linking to it? And if so, I'd share your content on social media to say thanks. Obviously, that's just a theme of the email. You wouldn't write it exactly like that. So let's run through an example. Let's say you're an SEO agency looking to build links to your website using the skyscraper technique. I'm going to run through the actionable steps you would take to get started. Okay, so first of all, you'd head over to ahrefs.com. This is a paid tool, but they do have a free trial if you're just getting into link building and SEO. And what you do is head on over to the Keywords Explorer, which you can see at the top here. Now, coming back to our example, let's say you're a marketing agency and you're selling SEO and you want to build links to your website with the skyscraper technique. What you do is type in SEO like that, right? So simple as that. And this is to find and generate content ideas for your skyscraper campaign. Okay. Now, as you can see, SEO is an extremely competitive keyword, but that's exactly what you want when it comes to the skyscraper technique, because the most competitive search terms are where all the links are. So if we scroll down to the SERPs for SEO, you can see right here there are an absolute ton of links. Okay, so on the first page there are tons of links, and these links are all potential websites that you could reach out to and ask for a link. So what I would recommend doing is copying and pasting each of these links into a spreadsheet that you can come back later to. And basically what you're trying to do is create a list of guides with tons of links that you can prospect and reach out to. Okay. So now, by this point, let's say you've got plenty of prospects, you should export all of their backlink profiles from ahrefs.com. So just before you do that, just note that I filtered the links that I'm going to export to do follow only, and one link per domain, okay? That's because I want to filter out the links that are valuable, and obviously you don't want to go after any duplicates either. So go ahead and export this report and do the same for all your other prospects too. Okay, so export it like this. So once you have that list of websites that you've exported from Ahrefs and you've got a big list of prospects to get through, you can use a tool like hunter.io to find all the email addresses for your list of prospects. So you'd simply copy and paste all your prospects' websites into this bulk search section here, and you can see the URL for that bulk search section here. Then you'd scroll down, hit upload, and then download and export all of the email addresses back into your spreadsheet. Okay, now I'm not going to show you exactly how to create this because it's fairly time consuming, but I will do in the future. However, your finalized list, once you've exported from Ahrefs and looked up all your emails, will look something like this, where you've basically got, your URL, their URL, your URL, the name and email of the contact which you've got from Hunter, and yeah, basically that's everything you need to begin your outreach campaign. Now, this is almost ready for outreach, but first I'd run the list through a service like Neverbounce. So I'm just going to show you Neverbounce for a second here. Okay, Neverbounce is email cleaning software which ensures you don't get any bounce backs. So when you fire out the email campaign. So email deliverability is a big issue these days with email outreach, and tools like Neverbounce help to ensure you minimize the number of email bounce backs you get. So now we're on to content creation, which is the third step of the skyscraper technique. So here's an example of a skyscraper article I've used to build over 170 links to. You can see that it's very comprehensive and a high quality piece of content, even though I say it myself. So when my link building clients work with me, I always recommend optimizing the content, because the better the quality of the content is, the more links you're going to get. And webmasters just won't link to low quality content. So a few things I recommend include making your article 2,500 words or more, covering everything you'd like to know about that topic, including plenty of pictures to make it more engaging, and reference any statistics and pictures you use inside the article. Also, don't monetize the article. So it's a big list, but remove all banners, ads, affiliate links, pop-ups, call to actions, live chats, messenger bots, basically anything else that's promotional on the page, because webmasters prefer to link to non-commercial content and they hate linking to self-promotional websites. Basically, they just want purely value-driven content, which you can't blame them for at all. So just for your skyscraper article only, remove any elements that are promotional from that particular page. And of course, after the outreach is finished, maybe 30 days after or something like that, you can always add these elements back. Now, I also want to show you on the About Us section. By the way, if you go to this section, you can see my face is on there. There's a lot of people on the internet who aren't practicing what they preach when it comes to link building. So I thought I'd show you this as an example. Now here's where the fun begins. It's time to start reaching out to websites via cold email. So this is the final stage of the skyscraper technique. And the software that I use for cold email is Lemlist. I use it on all of my campaigns, and they actually have a free trial too. So if you're just starting out, this is probably the easiest software to use. So if you log in here, and coming back to the example of an SEO agency, here's a client that I've worked with previously. We'll look at one of their past campaigns. So this is one I've sent for a marketing agency called Cardinal, and you can see we've had a reasonable reply rate of 13%. I actually built tons of links to their website, and here's an example of the email copy I use. Obviously, don't just steal this template because it's already been rinsed before, and it won't be anywhere near as effective as it was back then. So that's pretty much the steps you take to start building links to your website using the skyscraper technique. As you've seen before, it's highly scalable, fairly simple to set up, and it's probably the best link building strategy you can use in 2019 for white hat link building. By the way, you might be wondering what the results have been like for link building using the skyscraper technique. So here's an example of a previous client of mine, the one I just showed you, Cardinal. Okay, so since their skyscraper campaign, their website's overall authority and organic traffic is now growing at a rapid rate. You can see the traffic is actually growing exponentially since building links for them. So the skyscraper technique truly does work. It's extremely effective and highly scalable too. And that's it from me. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed the content. Plus, Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in learning more about link building. Okay, thanks for watching.